day. Smoked out the sun and blackened the blue away.
Creating art without limitations, says Clare Burson on her new album, Thieves. Clare Burson is a critically acclaimed musician, classically trained violinist, conversant in bluegrass, Celtic, and klezmer fiddle tunes. She is also a grade school teacher at St. Anne's in Brooklyn, New York, where she was recently awarded a 2-year, 6-points fellowship. The fellowship provides funding in addition to mentoring and educational workshops and part of an artist development program. Burson's music has been featured on the ABC drama 6 Degrees, as well as the WB's #1 hit show, Dawson's Creek. Clare Burson joins us live via telephone. Hi, Clare. Welcome to Now This Interview.
Thank you. How are you?
We're doing good. It's great to have you as a guest here on the show. Thieves is your second full-length album, following your critically acclaimed 2003 release, The In-Between, and your 2 previous EPs, Undone and Idaho. What's the inspiration behind this album, Thieves?
Well, I moved from Nashville to New York about 2 years ago, and the songs that are on Thieves were written largely either right before that move or in the year following it. And it's kind of a reflection on the end of a relationship with a person that I had in Nashville, and also the end of a relationship with Nashville as a town.
I understand. So it's a very personal album. Now, who did you collaborate with on this album? I know of a co-producer, Fognote. I don't know if I pronounced his last name correctly.
Well, his real name is Brian Siskind.
Okay.
And his production name is Fognote.
Okay. Now, how did he get that production name?
Years ago, he was living in Seattle, and he was making music with a group of people, and they all gave each other nicknames, and that was his.
This is interesting, because I heard this while listening to the album. If you listen really closely, on this album, Thieves, it was recorded in a friend's Brooklyn house. Is that correct? With the windows
Correct.
Open. And really listening in, like I was saying, you can hear the sense of organic sound. It's like a cozy, familiar vibe. Why did you decide to record with the windows open, especially in Brooklyn, New York, with all the city noise? And was it hard to filter out that urban noise?
Well, we didn't want to filter it out, which is why we opened the windows on some of the songs, and we actually recorded a few tracks that we did not include on the album. We had recorded them outside in Prospect Park. But it was really important for me to sort of just let go and let things happen, and not be too controlled about the songs and the arrangement and the production style. So just kind of decided to let it all hang out.
Now, how many takes before you're interrupted with a siren or something?
There actually weren't any sirens, and like you said, if you listen closely, or you don't even have to listen too closely on some of these songs, you hear a big Mack truck driving by and dogs barking, and so we didn't let those ambient noises get in the way. We just recorded through them. On
July the 10th, you began your tour for this album, Thieves. How has the road been treating you?
Well, it was a good summer. I'm actually, as you mentioned, I'm a school teacher, so I did touring most of the summer, and then as soon as September hit, I was back in the classroom, so I'm not touring quite as much now as I was.
Now, I understand you're from the South, and so are we here at the studio. And you made a summer stop in Memphis. Unfortunately, I was unable to make that show, but I heard great things about it. The venue you played in Memphis was quite interesting. It was a performance in a house. Now, do you often perform this way? And how was the Memphis audience?
Well, it was a really fabulous show. It was in somebody's backyard, and they have house concerts there quite often. Actually, I think their website is memphishouseconcerts.com, or it's MySpace Memphis House Concerts. But it was great. I think there were like 90 people there, and it was outside, and the weather was nice. And I don't play house concerts all that often, but whenever I have the opportunity to, I definitely jump on it because it's a really nice. It's intimate, and it's a nice environment to make music.
Definitely. Now, newspapers and magazines are comparing your work to bands with great musical flourishes and compositions and range of depth, like bands like Yo La Tengo and, for example, Lucinda Williams. What do you lean towards when you're writing your own music, and what is the writing process for you?
Well, I think the songs kind of ask for a certain kind of production and whatever sort of emotional space I'm in when they're being produced and arranged. I like to maintain sort of a more organic feel to things. Definitely like to include acoustic instruments, but I'm also interested in, feel like my songs sort of have a mixture of optimism and darkness at the same time, and I like the production and the arrangement to reflect that.
Okay, now I'm noticing that the darkness and the quietness at the same time with a little edge and a rock. I personally am seeing a bit of a PJ Harvey influence, and I wanted to know if you're a fan of her work.
I am a fan of her work. I don't have a lot of her records. I do have one, and I definitely respect and enjoy what she does.
Okay, excellent. Claire, thanks for being a guest on Now This Interview.
Thank you for having me.
Visit clareburson.com and myspace.com/Clare Burson. This has been an exclusive presentation of myspace.com and Now This Interview in affiliation with Jewish Living of the South Incorporated and Jewish Scene. Until next time, thanks for joining us.
Sky broke through today. Smoked out the sun and black